So it's not uncommon for appraisers to have to go into different pockets of a larger neighborhood when there are no suitable comparables available in the immediate section where the subject property is located. Besides the MLS, in the city of Chicago's neighborhood breakdowns, this county assessor also has other factors for comparison, such as township range, taxing area, tax billing location, census tract, school district. When I took on this case, I was looking at them like, yeah, it looks like all these comps are outside the neighborhood. That's what I originally thought until I really dug into this thing, and I identify all those factors there, and I conclude this thing up here that, as an example, both the subject and the comparables located on the Melvina Street are both located in tax area 7001 and census tract 1001. However, the subject has a 60646 zip code and an Edgewater Terrace identifier, whereas the other sale has a different zip and a different tax billing. It's my opinion that the sale on the same street, which is used by both the origination appraisal and the review appraiser, is an excellent comparable. Yet on the surface, its inclusion could have been criticized. To discredit this or any other comparable because it has a different zip code would be incorrect. The other comps 1, 2, 5, and 6 are also located in the same school district. 299 is the subject, with one of them having the same zip as the other, and the other two having the same zip as that other sale on Melvina in 606, 45, and 46. The point is that defining specific neighborhoods and relying solely on a map is not always the correct way to either approve or discredit the use of comparables. One must look at the factors to determine if there's any similarity to the immediate neighborhood, competing neighborhoods within a larger recognized MLS mapped area, and the numerous governmental property and neighborhood identifiers as it relates to school districts, taxation, and other government and social services. Therefore, origination comps 1, 4, 5, and 7 are all valid comparables and located within the subject's market area. So I'm giving them facts to back up the defending position here. And then I show you, I had a location map there, and I had all of them mapped out so they could see where they were located. And you could clearly see that that comp 3 was definitely in a different neighborhood. Regarding the different styles, all right, I agree that sales 2, 3, and 6 were different styles of homes and therefore should have not been included in the OA. Nonetheless, even after discrediting sales 2, 3, and 6, the original appraisal still meets the standard Fannie Mae closed sale requirement of having origination sales 1, 4, and 5 as all valid remaining closed comparables. So in this case, this appraiser used 7 comps. 4 of them weren't really good choices. Comp 3 was out of the area. The other 3 were different styles. That left us 3 that were all in the area, and there was still an active listing included on it. The appraiser used an average of 7 sales to arrive at a revised value opinion of 486. Again, we remind the reader that sales 6 and 7 were not closed, and thus it would be inappropriate to give active listings equal weight as closed sales because they never sold. Our response on it was that the appraiser reconciled the opinion using a weighted average technique. How many of you in here use a weighted average technique in your appraisal? Yeah, I mean, years ago it was done all the time. That was one of the primary techniques everybody taught. And so I say, this is an acceptable technique to help arrive at a value conclusion that's taught in all basic appraisal courses. The fact that neither listing comparable eventually sold is irrelevant, since at the time of the appraisal, both were active listings, and the appraiser discounted each listing to account for its likely sales price. So, notwithstanding was the fact that we agree OA6 should not have been used, equally weighing a listing comparable such as origination sales 7 and averaging comparable values is acceptable technique. And what I'm saying here is, had the origination appraiser failed to adjust for the list price to sales price ratio, then the criticism would have been correct regarding the weighting, but the appraiser made list price to sales price adjustments. Therefore, because the appraiser did make those adjustments, equal weighting of all comparables in the appraiser's value conclusion is reasonably justified. Third one, The appraiser did address Sale 3's superior location through an adjustment. However, the concern remains with its inclusion. It's evident that Sale 3 was included due to its similar site size. However, the need to expand the search outside the subject's neighborhood into a superior area would question whether the subject's site size was typical for the market. Although the response included numerous land sales, which they did, please note that these sales did not provide evidence with respect to the market premium paid for the subject's surplus land. And we're starting to see this more and more where Fannie Mae is questioning the individual adjustments and wanting to see support how they were arrived at. Classic case is scope creep. That's not part of the development in their scope of work instructions, although that you're supposed to base them on paired sales or a reasonable technique.
And that works all the time.
Yeah. So as I stated, I agree that Sale 3 shouldn't have been used. So I'll address the valuation of the surplus land.
But see, what he just did by doing that is he's not denying that there's issues with the review. I mean, he's being honest when he needs to, but he's still being supportive for what he's trying to accomplish through his...
That's right. How's the effect on the valuation? So Fannie Mae goes in here and says, it's unknown how the appraisal arrived at the site adjustments used in the origination report. Our concern remains with the methodology employed to arrive at the site adjustments and the use of a sale to bracket. So my research, using paired sales, details on the following page shows what the market was, in fact, that a willing buyer willing to pay between $5 and $10 per square foot for surplus land, depending on the amount of surplus land. Properties with greater surplus land brought higher price per square foot prices for the surplus land with lesser. In other words, bigger was better in this case. The original appraiser adjusted the subject's excess land at $9.50 per square foot, which at first may appear excessive. However, the paired sales analysis below shows a standard Chicago lot, that's a 25 by 125 foot lot for $31.25, and then versus a double lot, which is a 50 foot by 120 foot lot at $62.50, clearly supports a $9.60 per square foot value for the excess land. Considering the subject is even larger than the standard double lot of $62.50 versus the subject with $74.40, the adjustment at $9.50 per square foot made by the original appraiser was appropriate and could even be considered conservative. I found 3 properties, 2 paired sales in the subject area. All 3 of these were in the same township. Keep in mind that Chicago neighborhoods have been fully built up over the years with only scattered site or splitting of lots. So there's not a lot of land sales. There's like very few. Therefore, sales of properties with surplus land are rare. The property in my paired sales analysis are relatively similar in all aspects, with major differences being adjusted for. So in this particular case here, I found one sale, relatively same time frame, where we basically had, one sold for $340, one was for $360. Similar time, no adjustment. We're solving for the difference in the double lot. They were both brick homes, expandable bungalow versus a 2-story. Both relatively same room count as far as on there, and we adjusted $10,000 for the bathroom on there. Both were good. Square foot area were real close, no change. One had a finished basement, one didn't, made a $5,000 adjustment. One had a garage with a total for a $10,000 adjustment. And then you see the development on the bottom. You see the development on the bottom there. So when you took the $360,000 sales price, minus the $12,100 adjustment, gave it a new adjusted value of $347.9 minus the $340, gave a $7,900 difference for the surplus land. Divided the 2 areas, came up with the site difference, and came up with $5.06 for the square foot value. And then, did I miss the other one?
No, yeah, there was one.
It's
more.
still in there?
Yeah.
Okay. Fannie Mae reiterates its position regarding the review appraisal. As part of our supporting, we provided a field review from a local appraiser which detailed the issues, and therefore they think the value was 400,000. How come we skipped that?
If you go back, there's 2 slides.
Oh,
Just
did we
jump back
skip one of them?
and one more.
Oh, here it is, here it is.
That's the excess.
Okay, that's the first one. I'm sorry, I skipped that first one. So here's another paired sale between 2 other sales, or,
No, this is the one you did.
oh, this was 10,000. Oh, came to 960, and then the other one was $5.06. Okay, everybody follow that? Just user error
We
on
jumped- we
here
jumped
with
a
the
slide.
screens.
First time I've ever done this.